Okay, I don't have much time, but let's make it quick. This is the second album review I have to do right now, and that's From Zero by Linkin Park. For From Zero, we're going to go track by track, and then I'm going to tell you guys what I think about at the end. So, yeah. From Zero intro, which is the first track. It's just an intro, but it does definitely give me like a kind of anticipation, like something cool is going to happen. I enjoyed it quite a bit, I would say, and it got me really excited for the next tracks that were going to come. But yeah, definitely great. The Emptiness Machine. So this was one of our singles. With the Emptiness Machine, it got me very excited because I listened to Linkin Park a lot before they even announced anything. And I'm a newer like person. I'm 15, so I think me getting the revival of Linkin Park around my age is definitely pretty good. Considering a lot of the lyrics we have right now, I pretty much I'm here for the attitude Linkin Park's bringing, and it was a very convenient time for me, at least, for them to come back because I was just getting into them really hardcore before they had their comeback. So with the Emptiness Machine, when that came out, I listened to it so many times over and over and over again. When I heard it this time, it was on stereo for the first time I've ever heard it on stereo. The rest of the times was just like headphones, and it was very nice to hear that on stereo. My ears are kind of blind to it at this point because I've listened to it so much. But I can definitely tell you is one of the better tracks on this one, and it really, 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 I think has a great essence of Linkin Park in it. It's a great song, no doubt that. We have a non-single here, "Cut the Bridge." So "Cut the Bridge," I remember it to like a small amount. I remember thinking this is pretty good the whole way through, and then I don't have any like specific notes on it. It's just I remember thinking, okay, it keeps the album going. I like it. And then we have "Heavy as the Crown." "Heavy as the Crown," when this came out, I was very happy with it. That 16-second scream made me very happy. I was very happy about that scream, dude. It was a good scream, and it being the League of Legends anthem or whatever, I do not care about, but the song is just generally a banger. It's really good, really well done. I always like Mike's raps coming in and then Emily coming in with the screaming. It's wonderful. Chef's kiss, man. It was great. Over Each Other. So Over Each Other was very well done. It actually, a lot of these some do have like meaning to them, right? But they don't have that deep of meaning that actually make you have to like look at the lyrics and kind of think about it for a second. Uh, Over Each Other does, and it's a nice tonal change. I will say, over Heavy as the Crown, it is a bizarre tonal shift. Like, it just takes a complete U-turn. Like, it gets you get right out of a heavy song and you go right into a light song, which sometimes can work. Here it was a little jarring, but not much. It was okay. Over Each Other, right here, great song. I enjoy it so much. You have to really listen to the lyrics and read the lyrics yourself to get how much this song is like great lyrically and true lyrically, I would say. But great song, Over Each Other. Casualty. Casualty I did not like. Now, I love heavy stuff. Okay, I love heavy stuff. I did not like Casualty. It was no offense, a little bit of a mess. I like I like a lot of these guys and what they're doing right now, but Casualty I did not like. I'm all for screaming, but Casualty in that, at least in that point of the album, did not make any sense. You have Over Each Other, a deep song, right? Like you got this really deep, slower song, and then you go into Casualty. That is not. It's again complete U-turn, and this time it's very jarring. It's not, these aren't lined up well. I'm just okay. Like the first bit of the album is like, okay, it's lined up pretty well. And then we got Heavy as the Crown going Over Each Other, and then like, okay. And then you got Over Each Other's going to Casualty, and you're like, because it's not really. I feel like we could have constructed and put all the songs together better. Is all I'm gonna say when it comes to this part of the album. But yeah, I was not a fan of Casualty. Just because it had a lot of weird production choices that I just personally wasn't there for. Yeah, just not really a fan of Casualty. Overflow. Now, Overflow, I remember decently. It keeps the album going. Okay, it keeps the album going, and I remember liking it quite a bit. I was like really going to it. It kind of gave me the same vibe as some of the singles we got. I thought, this is what more of I expected than something like Casualty, no offense. Yeah, this is what I expected with Overflow, right? And then after Overflow, we get my favorite, Two-Faced. I've been bumping Two-Faced, bro. It's pretty damn good. I freaking looked at the YouTube video on it, and if you look in the comments, Nick Nocturnal commented on that thing saying 2 steps closer. There's nothing better you can say about that track. That is just, by the way, the music video itself, go check it out. Very bizarre. But the track itself, it's like 1 step closer, and I love 1 step closer. So what can I say? It has the same kind of tone to it. Yeah. So Stained. I'm gonna tell you, I do not remember a lot of Stained. I think if I remember correctly at that point, I might be wrong, but I think Stained was also kind of a U-turn. I do not think that from Two-Faced, you going from Two-Faced this one, I think it gave me a lot of bizarre production choices if I remember correctly. And I personally just don't think I really remember liking Stained that much. IGYEIH is the next track. And that one, I forget what the acronym's supposed to mean. I forget. I do not remember. But I think it did, if I remember correctly, keep the album going kind of, sort of, with the singles, how the singles were setting it up. And I did remember liking that one quite a bit. Good Things Go, I think, if I remember correctly on this one, we get a little bit slower, if I remember. I might be wrong, guys. If I remember correctly, we get a little bit slower. And I do remember just enjoying it as it was going out. And I was having fun with that one. I do remember it being a little longer, too. But yeah. So, that's the album. I'm just going to say it. Last album I reviewed prior to this was Skillet's Revolution. With Skillet, I just straight up can pop that shit in and have a straight through smooth listening experience. With this one, I'm going to say not as much. This album, and I'm gonna tell you right now, with this album, I don't think I'd pop it in as much, mainly because of the crazy, insane tonal shifts to me. Alright, it's not as clear all the way through, even though, we got some great tracks. I think I'm gonna say all the tracks I favor. Intro, I guess. Emptiness Machine, Cut the Bridge is okay. It's pretty good. Heavy as the Crown, Over Each Other, Overflow, Two-Faced, and IGYEIH, and Good Things Go is okay. Basically, I don't like Stained, and I do not like Casualty. And they're kind of, in the middle-ish of the album. I was enjoying myself for a while, but I think Casualty kind of interrupted it for me. If we had a bunch of, slightly heavier songs building up to that, getting to that crazy part, then it would have been okay, I can see how this is going through and it's kind of smooth. But that is just it's out of nowhere. It does not make any sense, and personally I did not enjoy that part of that. So yeah, I wouldn't pop this in as much, but I definitely listen to a lot of these songs individually on my own, or just go through the album and handpick which ones I want to listen to. But it definitely brought some big bangers, and I'm excited as hell to see what Linkin Park's going to be bringing us in the future. Super damn excited. And if they're bringing us more stuff like this, then I'm completely fine with that, man, because we got some great-ass songs on this album. I'm just saying, I wouldn't listen to it all the way through because it has a little bit of bumps in there that I'm not personally that big of a fan of. Anyway, though, that's been my album review for From Zero by Linkin Park. If you disagree with me, let me know how horrible I am in the comments, as always. And thank you for taking time out of your day to absorb other people's opinions. I know opinions are scary. All right. CD guys, signing out.